Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Phone In Friday, as we do every single Friday here at TRUgaming. I'm here today with three special guests, two of which who have never been on the Friday episode before. First of which is TaintedRumbler. Rambler, welcome back to the show, dude. How you doing today?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good. Excited for all the stuff that's going on this weekend and today, especially.
There's a lot, dude. Holy crap.
There's a lot. And Argick, welcome back to the show as well. Good to have you back. How
Hello.
you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Enjoying my day off on Friday.
Yes. Nice. Do you have every Friday off or just today?
No, it was just today. I'm going to a wedding party after this, so it's a case of nope, take the day off and then just enjoy the night.
Nice. Very cool, dude. And Veli, welcome back, my dude. How you doing? Thanks for taking over the show last week when I couldn't be here. I appreciate that.
For sure. Someone had to show you up, so.
Yeah, for real. I'm getting replaced now with Snoop and you both taking my job.
Yep.
It's a matter of time. All right, well, if you guys haven't seen this show before, this is our weekly show where you can call in or via text chat. You can ask questions and bring up topics related to Twitch, and we'll discuss them, debate them with you if you call in. And again, if you can't get to Discord for whatever reason, you can still just ask a question in the Twitch chat or Discord chat. We will still answer those, don't worry. But really quickly, I want to go over everyone's last weeks, which is something we started doing around here recently. So let's start with Rumbler, since I went to you first last time. How's your past week on Twitch been? Anything big happening? Anything exciting?
Well, I've had a lot of family stuff going on lately. It's weird because I came here like a year ago. I moved back to Missouri. Big life change for me and all that other stuff going on. Both of my sisters that lived in Iowa as well, they decided they're moving back to town too. So they got houses that are needing remodeled. So I've been doing things like that, but on Twitch-wise, I've been still grinding at that. The past week, I'd say my biggest surprise has been Call of Duty. Like, I'm sure we'll get into that more, but holy cow. Growth has been good, but that Call of Duty thing, like, I was stuck on that for the whole entire beta. I could not leave it. I've had a lot of things going on otherwise, like RP and other things that I should be doing, but I was just so caught up in that. But otherwise, it's been good, man. It's been good.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I think that feeling, a lot of people had the same thing. So.
Oh my God! Like, yeah. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, really quickly, but I just want to say this because I forgot. This whole stream, guys, we will also be supporting victims of Hurricane Florence. So if you would like to donate, you can type !donate in the chat or go to the panel below. We're trying to raise up to $1,000 over the course of the next couple of days with the whole community to support Florence people. So please feel free to do that if you would like. And thank you for donations if they're coming in. But Argick, how has your past week been, dude? Anything really cool happening on your stream?
It's been pretty interesting for me. I took part in a charity event called One Hand for Type 1. It was a charity event raising money to help a camp in America that's just raising money for teens and kids who suffer from type 1 diabetes. And the challenge was to raise money while doing any of your speedruns one-handed. So we went through. I'm thinking, right, okay, this is probably gonna be a bit difficult for me. Normally, use two hands. There we go, fully abled. It was a surprisingly interesting couple of days going through my speedruns. Like doing Sonic Mania 2D game, not particularly hard. It went quicker than I expected. But then the chat decided, no, we'll give you more money if you jump down into the 3D rabbit hole, and that's where things really got interesting. So managed to finish both Sonic Adventure DX and A Hat in Time one-handed, but it's an experience. I would suggest people just spend a day trying to play their games one-handed, do some rebinds on that. It's very interesting.
Man. That's really funny because we actually, way back in the day, we sponsored a guy named One Hand FPS, and his whole thing was he could only play with one hand. So, it's crazy when you see people try and do it, and people who do it really well. It just blows your mind. It's like, man, it's such competitive games too, when like these people are better than you and playing with one hand.
And you're just like, how does this work? What is this? But yeah,
it's like, man, I got two and I can't do that.
But no, it's great because it's twofold. It's promoting and raising money for charity for combating diabetes, which is great. But on the other flip side, it's giving recognition to game developers now who are putting more accessibility options into their games, and it's fantastic. Like just allowing them to rebind almost everything to any controller, really.
Yeah, that movement's really cool to see with like Xbox's new controller and all sorts of games.
Oh yeah,
colorblind options and things. I love to see that kind of inclusiveness with gaming coming out for sure. Veli, how's your last week been, dude? Anything cool?
It's been awesome, just grinding like I always do. But we beat Spider-Man on stream this week, and that game, that game is amazing. If you haven't played Spider-Man yet, go get it right now. Like, just buy it. Buy 2 copies if you need to, because holy crap, it is so good. It's so good. But yeah, so aside from grinding and beating Spider-Man, it's just been a normal week.
Nice, man. Yeah, Spider-Man is the one game that makes you want to get a PS4. There, like nothing else. I mean,
yep.
Yeah, that's
it. Well, and God of War.
So Last of Us 2, that makes me want to get a PS4 too. Like,
I don't want to hear an about God of War. That game is just, it's art. Okay, God of War is art. Everybody needs to get that one.
It's not Spider-Man.
When do I tell him I'm halfway through it and haven't played it since?
Ooh, wow. We'll get into that maybe for sure. Really quickly, so I do want to go ahead and talk a little bit more about the Cullen. If you guys want to join, I'm going to link the Discord right now, which is not the TRUgaming Discord, by the way. There's a Stream Key Discord. You can join it by a link I just put in the chat. If you join the waiting room, we will pull you in during the show and put you on there to talk about any topics or anything. You get priority if you're a caller. You get to skip all the people who are texting because it takes more effort to call. So we reward you for that. While we're waiting for people to call in or tag us in questions in the chat, though, we want to go through some Twitch news. And there's not a ton this week, but there are 2 big topics we want to touch a little bit. First of which is an update to the TwitchCon stuff. And that came in the form of an announcement from Twitch about security updates to TwitchCon this year. And from the biggest changes that I saw, Veli and I both went last year to TwitchCon. They had metal detectors there. We thought pretty decent security. Okay, security could be better probably. And in the wake of like the Florida events and things, of course, it's going to be on people's minds. But one of the biggest changes they made was having like bag size regulations, where you can only have a certain size bag into the convention. You can only take that with you. And that is not going to support a lot of backpacks and things, which I know last year, like I was huge on backpacks, so it's not going to fly this year. And ironically, this is a topic I want to bring up with you guys too. So if you probably have heard now that the perk for partners going to TwitchCon is they get a backpack, right? The irony of that is that this backpack is bigger than the dimensions that they allow to bring into TwitchCon. So you can get the backpack and take it home as a partner, but you cannot bring it back. That's illegal. So this just kind of cracks me up. I want to get you guys' thoughts on, is this enough for security at TwitchCon moving forward? Do you have any concerns for it? And any thoughts on like the bag changes? Just generally, anybody have any strong thoughts about it?
One thing, so we went to TwitchCon last year, and I remember we both brought in a backpack, and they they literally zip up the main bag part, the main zipper, and just look in there real quick, and then just give it back to you. It wasn't anything. And so I think there's no way to efficiently check everybody's backpack in every nook and cranny. So I think not allowing the backpacks is a good idea for sure. But I think I hope that they do more than just have smaller bag restrictions, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully there's people walking around, security there or something like that. I think that would be cool. But I think not allowing the bigger backpacks is a good idea for sure. It sucks that the partners can't have their own backpacks. That's hilarious. But that's all I got on that, to be honest.
Yeah. They didn't really talk about in convention security updates in terms of staffing and things like that. They more talked about getting into it and regulations around that. So I think aside from the bag regulations, they kind of touched a little bit more about you can only go on certain entrances, and those are more heavily guarded or so. I'll look into the article as we're talking about it a little bit here. But Tainted and Argick, do you guys have any thoughts on this topic?
Well, I mean, I heard some things. What was the last convention that was going on? Was it PAX East or was that PAX West? Which one was the most recent?
One of those PAXs. I don't know.
Yeah, it was one of them. From what I heard from a couple partners that went, is they upped the security for because it's not a Twitch event, but everybody that was from Twitch and that was there for Twitch, their events their parties and all that, they upped the security tenfold. They said it was great. According to them, which it's needed, man. I mean, for anything, not just gaming, but everything, man. Like if there's any kind of big crowd, things going on, people are just excited and getting together in one spot. There has to be some kind of security to make sure it's safe. You shouldn't be scared like going into something that you enjoy like that. But my thoughts on the TwitchCon doing it, that I think they need to, like, they have to. If they wouldn't have done it, I think a lot of people still would have went, but there would have been a lot of questions about it. Because I mean, that's something they've needed to do, because they haven't been super hardcore on heavy security, especially in that area.
And especially with an event like TwitchCon, where it's a lot of like celebrity kind of people too, right? Like where
celebrity,
where PAX is more of like a general convention. You have a lot of like big name people at TwitchCon, and probably other conferences too. But that's sort of like the selling point of Twitch, is these big streamers are going to be there. So I feel like extra security is definitely big. Yeah,
and just the fact that every year it's getting bigger and bigger. Like every year, there's going to be more and more and more. Just like just like the games genre and stuff, like job wise or streaming or whatever, is getting so big that every year, just like ESPN just did a story on Ninja. First time ever a gamer was on the cover of Ninja, or cover of ESPN. So it's like it's getting bigger and bigger. So I think it's something that they've needed to do, and I'm glad they're finally addressing and doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Argick, you have any thoughts on this one too? Actually, really quickly. Sorry, I don't interrupt you. I looked into the blog article again, and all I saw, it's kind of vague. They said entry security, that all attendees will be subject to bag search and security screening at all designated entrance points. Please allow ample time to process their TwitchCon security. That's it. So maybe that means more comprehensive screening stuff. It's pretty vague, so it's hard to say. But any thoughts on this, Argick?
Keeping it vague is perfect. I mean, it sounds daft, but the more comprehensive and the more in detail you go on vlogs like this, the more likely people who are going to abuse it will get that information. So keeping it as vague as they can, as long as they're stepping it up. I mean, just people going around even undercover and that. Restricting the bag size, I understand why they're doing it, because obviously you don't want them to conceal weapons and whatnot, but at the same time, it might have the undesired effect of people not being able to go around and carry as much things as they'd like, to bring them with them and whatnot. But at the end of the day, security first, and as long as Twitch are up in their game on that one, yeah, go for it. I mean, they got to do it. We do that over here at our events as well. Obviously, we're not as active with incidents, but we've got all the bag searches and that happening. I'm going to an event this weekend, going to MCM Glasgow, and they've got their details out just saying, no, listen, your bags and that will be searched. People will be going around. Don't be offended if we stop you. If we think you're suspicious, we will ask you to unpack your bags or show us what's inside it. So everywhere needs to do it. It's just unfortunate that it's got this far.
Yeah, for sure. I think you can't really argue that it has to happen at this point, especially after the events earlier this year with especially the Florida thing. I think they're going to have to play it safe more than anything. So I think most people understand.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely more important than bringing a backpack in. Definitely.
I saw some people on Twitter were posting like this clear backpack you can get, the exact dimensions that they specify, and it's all clear. So if you're interested in that, I guess you get that to speed up your process. Looks kind of weird to me, but I thought that was something cool. All right, cool. Well, that is the first topic. The second topic is, this one's pretty recent, and I saw like some rumors about it, but it's now confirmed as of like this morning, I think. Twitch is now banned in China, which is pretty interesting. And this has actually been happening to like a lot of American companies and websites, but Twitch is now officially banned in China, which is a big portion of potential viewers. Of course, it's not a Chinese company, but anytime you're factoring like viewers into stuff, I mean, you look at like, I know League of Legends, so I'll reference this. If you look at like the numbers for people who watch League of Legends championships, it's like China just dwarfs everything, like exponentially dwarfs everything. So I wonder how this will affect like statistics on that end, and then also just every other stream out there and viewers. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? I know it's kind of hard to relate to because most of us probably don't know if we have Chinese viewers or anything, but any thoughts in general on it?
I just found out today, actually, and I brought up a page, an article from The Verge. It's saying pretty much they're blocked in China. They didn't elaborate on any details. They said last month, this is huge though, like holy crap, last month, Twitch hit number 3 spot among free apps in China. That's how big it is in China. And how many people in China? A lot. So it's like, there's going to be a lot of games that I think are going to be hit pretty hard, or categories on Twitch that are going to be hit pretty hard with, and how are they doing like the streamers? Because there's a lot of streamers over there too. So I'm guessing maybe they're out of jobs, I guess.
Maybe.
I don't know how exactly this is working, but I think it's insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Cador in the chat brought up a good point that I looked a little bit into it, and it seems like a lot of people do use VPNs in China because like this is such a common problem with China blocking websites. So maybe it's not as big as you'd think, but I mean, you're still definitely going to cut off some people and like mobile users probably. So it's interesting. I think what you said there, Tainted, is so true. Like China's just such a big portion of the world. Anytime that you remove China from something, it's just a huge number of potential eyes that you're cutting out of the equation. So, Valley, Argick, any thoughts on this one before we move on?
I think it's stupid. It's like the banning of memes. It's so dumb. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. Like every other, like, I'm not gonna get into politics or anything, obviously, but people are gonna have their own things that they do in other countries, and there's nothing we can do about it. I just think it's just stupid. It sucks for the people who stream League of Legends. Because I think they're going to be taking the biggest hit out of anybody. Like, I'm probably not going to take a hit, you know, like I don't have nearly enough viewers to take a hit. I don't have any viewers from China that I know of. So I feel bad for the people who stream League, I guess.
Well, I don't think it's just League. I just use that as
well, like
example.
League, Dota, PUBG, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I see it a lot with like big tournament events. More than anything.
For sure.
Because again, I see a lot of like the number breakdowns, and it's just crazy what China's contributing that you don't actually see. So I imagine that's the case for a lot of stuff. That's just what I know is League. So curious to see how it pans out and if we see any like noticeable changes. I don't know. Hard to say because we're not in China. Still important that I think we bring it up. It is Twitch news after all. All right, well, let's get into the calls and questions. We have our first caller who's Mr. Pure Instinct, so let's drag him in here. If he can join. I can't drag him in. What the heck? Is he
broke it.
Oh, I can't bring him in. What?
Oh, there you go. Maybe Discord's having issues. MVI, you there?
Yeah, there we go. It didn't
Hello.
for a minute. Okay.
How you doing?
So I have a question and need some advice on what you guys think. So I am doing a 12-hour stream because we hit a goal in my channel. The only other 12-hour stream I've ever done was for charity. So it was kind of easy to drive and say, like, we have these goals. If we meet them, we'll do X. This one's not going to be for charity. It's more celebrating that we hit a goal. What can I do to make it still fun and have something that keeps it more than, well, I played video games for 12 hours?
Yeah, that's a good question. So really quickly for context, how many of you guys have done 12-hour or 24-hour streams?
I've done quite a few, yeah.
Okay, all three of you.
Yep.
I know for context that Veli is like in the exact same situation where he just hit a goal and is going to do a 24-hour stream. And I'm sure, you know, Tainted and Argick, you guys probably have some context to give here too. But yeah, what would you say to MPI for planning for a 12-hour or maybe similarly a 24-hour stream that's not for charity, it's just for an event for the community?
Is that all right if I go first?
Yeah,
dude.
really, don't feel free to jump in here, really.
Yeah. I actually, it wasn't too long ago I didn't have to, but I wanted to do a 24-hour stream because of the growth on my channel and all that. And I think the only thing that you really need to do is you hit that goal, and obviously your community is probably very excited for you as well. So don't really have to read into it too much. Just do it and know you're doing it for your community. And obviously you should be happy about it because it's a goal that, you know, you set for yourself, you set for the community. So, but in order to make it fun, just get your community's advice. Say, hey, look, we're doing this. What should I play? Should we play some community games? Let's do like Jack Party or whatever that game's called. You don't know Jack, or, you know, just get advice from the community. But if you're doing a goal, man, especially a personal goal or for a channel goal, just have fun with it. I mean, you really don't need to read too much into it. I did a 24-hour not too long ago because I hit a goal of my goal was like 3,500 followers, and I was like, okay, we hit that. Oh no, it was 100 subs, and boom, I hit that, and then I was like, hey, well, let's do a 24-hour. 24-hour ended up being amazing because of the fact the community was so excited that I hit that goal too. They made it fun for not just me, but for everybody else that was either coming in that was new or that was around, you know. So it's you don't have to read too much into it. I guess that's all I'm saying to you, brother. You don't have to read too much into it. Just have fun.
Yeah, not a huge deal. Argick, go ahead.
No, I completely agree with that. It's a case of you've already met your goal, so this next stream is a celebration of you meeting that goal. Just enjoy it. Like, take this time to unwind, have fun with it. Just go. End of the day, you might get more people coming in because you're enjoying yourself while playing it. But unlike a charity event where you're aiming for a target, you've done it. Unwind, have fun with it. Just hit the nail on the head with that stream.
I like that a lot. Just yeah, you're already celebrating that, right? You don't really, especially because it's not a charity event, you don't have anything special to really push for necessarily, as much as just celebrating with your community. So it should be a lot about the community, right?
Yeah. The one thing that I see in chat, Rude, he just said something. During that celebration, I had another goal set. So in that celebration, yeah, raise your goal. Celebrate and raise your goal at the same time. During that celebration, we ended up hitting my next goal like that within like 10 hours of that 24-hour stream. So I'm like, oh my God, there's no way I'm doing 48 hours. You guys are insane, okay? So yeah, I still owe another 24-hour because I set my next goal while I was doing my 24-hour, having fun with it. Everybody was having fun with it, and we ended up nailing our next goal, which was insane. So I mean, yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's crazy. Just gotta keep going for another 24 hours, right? Then I think that's how that goes.
No way, dude. I want to live.
Yeah. For real. Valley, we talked a little bit about this before with just planning for big charity streams and just marathon streams. So what would you say to MPI, kind of in the same shoes yourself?
Okay. So yeah, one thing you got to remember is like it's your community that helped you get to this point, that helped you achieve this goal. So make it about your community as opposed to you. Like this is like a community stream. Like this will be the community 12-hour stream that we do because you guys got me here. We'll play video games together. We'll have fun. It'll be relaxing. We'll chill. We'll hang out. Like don't make it about don't make it about anything else. Just make it about a community event where you guys are just literally hanging out together and celebrating your awesome community that got you to this point. So definitely make it about them 100%.
Nice. MPI, you have any follow-up thoughts to that?
No, I think that's all really good.
Sweet, man. Well, good luck on your big stream.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, buddy.
All right.
Love you.
Bye.
Good topic. All right. Well, we are wide open, guys, for some calls and questions now. If you want to get your topic answered or your call on the air, now's the time to do it. But yeah, you guys have anything that you noticed, over the past week or month with Twitch that we haven't touched on here yet, or anything that you're passionate that you've just been thinking about lately and you want to talk about? Put you on the spot a little bit here.
This month's.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
This month and next month's game releases, man. Like, just how stacked has September and October been for games? Just in general. Like, what games have you guys all decided to pick up? Obviously, Spider-Man is a massive one that everybody's been going through. Personally, for myself, I've got Torna, the Golden Country DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It released alongside the Hat in Time DLC, which was free for the first day when they released it, because why not? They can make their DLC free. But it's like, sorry, anything that you guys have been playing this month that you think, no, I've put my time into this. This is what I did and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know Tainted, before we got on here, was talking a little about COD, the Black Ops, or the Blackout stuff. You still diving into that later this year, I'm guessing?
Oh, dude. Let's just say I've never, I can't even tell you how long it's been since I cared about Call of Duty. I remember when I first moved to Iowa and doing my own thing, I remember waiting in line for 8 hours because I remember when the 360 first came out, having Call of Duty 2, and it being just so enveloped into that and just loving it so much, and coming out with a modern warfare, a modern day shooter. And I remember the feeling of like waiting in line for 8 hours, being able to go home, play it. That first feeling that I got playing that game was just like unreal. But, you know, it progressively went away. I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was the last one I really got that feeling. And I played others, but I just stopped caring years ago. And this came out. I'm not a BR guy. I've tried. I've wanted to like BR. I haven't found one that I really like. Islands of Nine was okay, but didn't draw me in to keep me. There's no other out there. And then I was like, you know what? Whatever. I got a code for it. Let's try out Blackout. It's Call of Duty. I just know this is going to be butt cheeks, but we're going to try it anyway. Hopped on it, gave it like 20 minutes. I was so addicted to it that I had other games that I needed to play. I had to do other things, my RP and all this other stuff. I couldn't get off that game. I just couldn't. It's insane. I get that feeling again with Call of Duty. I never thought in a million years I would, but yeah. That's it's going to be great.
I'm in the exact same boat. Like I have not played a COD since Modern Warfare 2, and I didn't even play the Blackout beta, but just watching it on Twitch, it's like, man, I feel like they finally got a realistic BR right. It actually feels good to play, so I'm excited for that one too. Yeah, Vel,
I like the fact you popped up realistic in there. It's like the one clip I remember seeing. Completely not realistic, but it's still...
Well, okay. Like compared to Fortnite was my point.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, but no, just the clip. Yeah, it was the guy. He just he wingsuited down, somehow landed behind the guy that didn't see him and just knifed him. Like it looked amazing, but it's like, what the heck? No, but no, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not a massive Call of Duty fan.
I will say the ballistics are good, very good. I think that's what he means by realistic. There's little things. It's a PUBG-esque, because if I had $1 for how many times someone said, well, oh, this is like Call of Duty PUBG mode. I'm like, get out of here, dude. This is not
Yeah.
So
it just like you can't knock COD for how good their games feel because they optimize them so well. They're just so snappy and they're made to play really well when you play them, as opposed to like PUBG, which is maybe more realistic, but then like it takes forever to move in one direction and pull up a gun and
Call of Duty is the iPhone of video games.
Yeah, exactly.
They've done the same thing so many times that they've just perfected what they do.
Okay,
it's just the yeah, exactly.
So wait,
I was going to say you're going to start a freaking conversation. It's probably not going to go well.
You're telling me they've removed sound from the latest Call of Duty? Is that what they've done?
You need an USB-C to listen to that. Yeah. All right, well, we do have some questions coming here from the chat, so I want to get into these a little bit here. So Ironman 00718 said, what do all the streamers, so you guys, what do you do in terms of personal security? How careful are you? What details do you share or not share, and any learning opportunities? So what do you guys, you probably all have a slightly different stance on this, like how careful are you with your own personal info? Do you take any extra steps to protect yourself, or are you sort of more carefree with that? I know that probably varies from person to person. Maybe starting with Argick this time.
Personally, I try and keep my Twitch persona separate from my real life persona. Like it's a case of own business accounts for the streaming side of things, own Facebooks, own Twitters, own everything if I can. Obviously, for being a business or trying to be a business, you need that all separate anyway. It's 2 birds, 1 stone. You might as well do it at the start here. But personally, I do try and use aliases in that online all the time. It's a case of it just feels weird using real names at times. So ideally, it's like, no, try and keep that all as separate as much as possible. There are times where it slips up, like if you're out at an IRL meet and somebody just happens to now know who you are. It's not necessarily a problem, but it is a case of the more you have out there, more likely somebody can and probably will dig up stuff in the future. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably inevitable, but just do the best you can keeping it separate.
Right. Yeah. So you tend towards the safe side of that generally.
Yeah.
You do keep a lot of your info private. Do you use any like tools or anything to do that, or is it just sort of generally?
Not really. It's just separate emails and that. I have an email account for my personal side. I have an email account for all my Twitch stuff and all that side of things. The only thing that is a kind of a risk for me at the moment, I would say, is my Facebook, because my Facebook page for my streaming stuff is actually linked to my personal Facebook, because I didn't see the need or the want to start my own Facebook account for that side of things, if you get what I'm saying. And Facebook doesn't let you hide who owns the page. It's like, oh well, that's useful. So like I would say that's one of the potential risks I've got. But other than that, it's generally quite safe. Yeah, no special tools needed yet, but who knows what the future brings.
Sure, gotcha. Velok, what's your stance on security with Twitch and personal info and all that?
So I try not to let my last name out there. A few of my mods know my last name and everything, and a few of my viewers do, just because like I either know them personally or I feel like I've known them long enough to where, maybe I've added them on Facebook or something. But I don't just hand that information out for sure. Like I didn't know pretty well that I can trust you. I'm kind of like paranoid as it is already, like just anywhere. It's just something that's something you just can't shake. Like if you're like that, you can't help it. So I try to keep my last name out. People know that I live in like the Metro Detroit area, but that's huge. Like that could be as far as an hour each way of Detroit, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, I don't really do too much. I don't have any special programs or anything. I just keep my last name out and don't tell people exactly where I live. And I feel like that's pretty easy to do for the most part.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like it's hard to find a lot of, like, especially bigger streamers who you don't know their name. It's just like you can't hide it at some point. I think address is different, and that info is definitely more private. But at some point, I feel like you pretty much know every big streamer's full name. That just gets out there via interviews or friends and going around and stuff. But I definitely see like the benefit of being smaller and trying to keep that info private. And every extra bit you leave private is one more step they have to take to find you. So I see that side.
Exactly.
Tainted, what are your thoughts on security?
I'm kind of a paranoid person too. So what Velag was saying, I have the same issues with that. I don't really care about my name that much, because when I started doing this and like getting serious with it, I made sure I went to like things like Facebook, because like Argick was saying too, like my Facebook is connected to my actual stream Facebook. So I just made sure my personal Facebook, that's not my real address, if you guys are wondering. So I mean, there's that. I don't connect phone numbers to things. That's pretty much it. I don't really care if you know my name. I get a lot of times, because I have on my profile, I'm from Missouri. I live in Missouri. So a lot of people ask, well, where at Missouri? I don't tell them a town. I just say, like the Ozarks area, because that is huge. That's like the whole entire freaking central southern state. So anywhere pretty much, like the Ozarks area. Yeah, I just make sure all my personal, like really personal, as for address, phone numbers, all that stuff is very, very private, and I do not slip that up ever. I'm kind of paranoid with it. I make sure that, like, if I have to do something, enter in my emails or anything like that, I have to make sure I drag it to the other monitor before I even do anything. I put on an overlay and be like, okay, hold on, guys. Make sure like 5 times before I even click on it. Okay, things are good. Things are good. Make sure I have I'm pretty careful. I don't really use programs. There's really no programs you really need. It's just being aware of things that are important that probably shouldn't be telling people, especially as a small streamer, because whether you know it or not, if you're a small streamer, you're going to be targeted a lot more frequent if you have things like that, because it's just easier. So I mean, yeah, I don't really use anything. I'm very, very careful.
Yeah, you kind of set yourself up for the future too, right? By you start early, because if you do get to that point where you're big, then you were covered from day one. So that makes sense. Exactly.
Yep.
Sure. We have a call from Akarian, who I think wants to comment on this topic too. So I'll pull him in really quickly. Akarian, How do you say your name?
Akarian, Akka, it's fine like that. Just call me Akka. Just make it simple. So hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Making it short and simple is security thoughts topic. I'm just gonna hop in on that. I have like one big thought on that, which is like getting swatted. Like that's like a big red flag for me, or like why you should protect yourself. It's like there are like several streamers even like nowadays which have been swatted like very recently. Like it's happening more and more of each year. A good example for that is like Ice Poseidon or Flandre on like Ice Poseidon on YouTube or Flandre on Twitch, who gets like swatted 24/7 because they leak like their address.
They are not careful at all.
That's
one thing about
that's
them.
what I
play into it.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, but even people who are careful, like Flandre got swatted. It's just like that's kind of like, you know, you just don't do that. But it's just a way to you just should prevent it just like as much as possible.
It's a scary thought. I will say that.
It's a scary thought, yeah, because you know, like you just do your stream, suddenly somebody knocks on your door and the FBI is there like, hey, what's up, dude? How you doing? So it's
especially
like,
gun owners, like, because I have guns, and I'm telling you right now, I keep guns places, and with that kind of thing, you have to be very careful. That's why, like, I'm very careful with addresses and all that, because if I have a knock at my door, I want to know who it is first. That's why I'm glad I have a window that looks out to my door. I can see who it is before I go to the door. But yeah, that's one thing too, because I've seen streamers that will have a freaking Tech 9 by their freaking whoa, and he's like, "Are you dumb?" Like I get like you might be paranoid a little bit, but if that's like police, you're holding a gun while you're gonna get shot. So it's a scary thought. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, I that's one thing that's a big reason why I'm careful.
Oh, yeah, you didn't interrupt at all. It's all good. Like you were actually stopping there when you started. Like I can understand that, where it's like, yeah, it's not the best idea to have a gun out right in front of the FBI, especially when you get swatted. Like to the police, it's like, oh shit, dude. Like what now? Yeah, you have to imagine being on the side of the police and you come in and you see like a guy with a fucking weapon in front of you who's like meant to be a fucking serial killer. That's what you heard at least, you know, like not the best thing, not the most intelligent thing on earth. No.
Yeah, that's why just protecting the address is so important too, and even not like swatting stuff, but what happened to Dr. Disrespect recently?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Or like, you know, I think like the Post Malone doxing stuff, and then someone showed up at his house. Like the address is so important. I mean, your name, I feel like, is inevitable to get out there, even if you try your hardest. But address, you can keep pretty hidden if you do a good job of it.
Like just PO box if you're taking stuff. Like there are other ways to get things delivered to you. You don't and shouldn't give out your address. But it's like just saying there, like the Dr. Disrespect things and that, and swatting in general. It's like obviously carrying a weapon, big no, you're in trouble with that. But if you are a streamer and you are unfortunately targeted and you get swatted, gotta give a shout out to most law enforcement nowadays. They're aware of the situations of being swatted. They're not just barging in anymore and going, yo, like freeze, all that nonsense like it happened a couple of years ago. It's no, they're calmly going in, they're dealing with the situation and then speaking with the streamer and going, listen, this has happened. They're aware of it. It's just keeping it. Prevention is better than having the actions actually take place. So us doing our best to keep our information private, hell yeah, definitely do that. But at the same time, let's get people more educated on the fact that don't do this crap. I'm not a person that has a lot of rules. Like I'm usually a very chill person. I'm hard to get angry or whatever. But I've categorically said, if anybody anywhere I know gets swatted, or I know you have swatted someone in the past, you're gone. We don't want you here. Like, this is bogus. Like, you're putting people's lives at risk here for no reason, or just for a laugh. Like, bye. That's it. Done.
Yeah, and though it's probably like very statistically low this would happen to you as a streamer, I mean, just playing it safe is the best bet, because you never know, and you gotta cover yourself just in case. But Ackers, I can't remember what you told me to call you, but anything else to add to that, or any follow-up thoughts or questions?
It's like this doesn't only go for live streaming. This also goes for a lot of live streaming events, in my opinion, where it's like, you know, I don't know if you saw this, but there was like an esports event in Florida, and
yeah, we just
there was a person just. Oh, you just talked about that. All right, well, I wasn't there, but yeah, stuff like that is just that should not happen ever. Like, I feel like the address in general of an event like that should be like posted after. It should be posted after you registered for it. Like you actually paid for the money, like a couple of days before you know where to go. It's like something like that, just protected or have security or something like that. Where it's just like this shouldn't happen at a gaming event, like at all, ever.
It shouldn't happen at any event, and as great as it would be to turn around and go, listen, here's the address for the venue after you've paid and you've confirmed you're going, that's going to kill any potential profits for these events. Unfortunately, knowing where the event is a requirement for a lot of people to decide if they're even going to go. So as great as it would be to hide those addresses, it's not going to happen anytime soon, which is why we need to, instead of focusing on hiding event addresses, we just need to step up security in places like that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I agree on that.
Cool. Well, thanks for the comments, dude. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. I'm signing off now, so thanks for having me.
Yeah.
All right, later, buddy.
Bye.
See you, man. Thanks. All right, good topic. We have some more questions coming in from the chat. Let's scroll up a ways here. Hope we won't lose them again. Okay, so Caldor says, so again, for each of you guys, how do you deal with links in your channels? I see some streamers say not allowed even for subs, and then some are much more lenient. So anyways, protect yourself from malicious links. What are your stances on links in your chat? Do you allow them for certain people? Are they just totally off limits for everyone? Maybe start with Velok this time.
So, I'm sorry. Can you rephrase that question? Can you just say the question one more time? I apologize.
You're good.
My bad. I was reading chat.
It happens. Basically, what is your stance on links in your chat? Do you just not allow anyone to use them, or certain people? What's your stance?
So, if it looks like a link to a website that I've never seen before, 100% not going to click on it. Like, I'm just not. Like, I'll have that person, like, also, if it's a new viewer who just comes in and posts a link, I'm going to just instantly time that person out for that link. So that way nobody clicks on it. If it's like a mod, obviously I'm going to click. If my mods, I trust them. So if my mod posts a link, I'll allow that 100%. Because they're not really going to give me anything that should be anything I have to worry about. And if they do, they're banned instantly. But no, I really don't trust too many links at all. If it says YouTube, most of the time I'll click on it if it's not a brand new viewer who hasn't said anything in there. But yeah, links I don't worry too much about. It's pretty easy to figure out which one's going to be sketchy and which one's not.
Right.
You know?
You do allow them to be posted in your chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Gotcha. Rumbler, what's your stance on links in your chat?
I have a program that I use for that. I use, a lot of people probably heard of it. I use DeepBot. It's a bot that you use that, excuse me, you have to pay for the license to use it. And if you want, you can do like $5 a month to support the developers, blah, blah, blah. But it has an awesome thing on it to where you can block out any kind of links only for like if you want them just for your subs or just for your mods. You can set up different ways of doing that like that. I have mine where it's mods only, or not mods. Sorry, subs and mods. Mainly because I've had it in the past where I've had anybody can post links, and an example when Hunt Showdown first came out, I played the crap out of it for the closed alpha and stuff. I got a lot of traffic, and there's one or two times someone posted a link in chat and it ended up being a malicious link. So that was the final straw for me. I made it where nobody can post links unless you're a sub or a mod, and even subs, their links are checked by the bot that I use. And anybody else that wants to post a link, they can be permitted by a mod to post the link, but the mods check it first before they post link, and have to actually type in !permit so-and-so. So I'm pretty careful when it comes to links because I've experienced some malicious links. So
yeah, definitely makes sense. Argick, What's your policy on links in your chat?
Right now, I allow them simply because I haven't had an incident that requires me to be like, right, no, whoa, listen, no links or whatever. On the flip side, I don't use song request for that reason. People have abused it. I'm like, nah, I'm done with that. But links at the moment are fine. I use the Twitch extension Frankerface Z, which allows links to have rich presence. So you can hover over a link, and assuming it's a legit link, it'll tell you exactly what it is. So it's like, no longer will I fall for, yo, you've just been rickrolled on YouTube, whoa, because it'll tell me that, yo, it's a rickroll. There you go. So that's a really useful tool. Frankenface Z is free. If you download it, you get a whole bunch of things, but Rich Presence is one of them that's really good. Mm-hmm. I have thought about banning links in general and just having people to be permitted to use them, but personally, I think that takes away from the stream every time I have to permit links, because I have a rule on my stream where I personally say, listen, I'm not going to check links while I'm streaming unless it's actually pertinent to what I'm doing at the moment. For example, learning from a tutorial or going through just some photos or whatever from an event that I've been to, simply because we're here to watch me, I like play games or something, not just post links to Facebook, YouTube, wherever. But the other thing about it is, if somebody gets automatically purged, people are going to click, oh, message delete, what is it? Oh, it's a link. They'll click it anyway. There's only so much you can do to account for people's curiosity. So,
yeah, definitely, for sure. There's just some good policies, I think. It sounds like, so Veloc, I'm guessing, do you mostly click on links from like subs and mods? If I had to guess?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Subs and mods, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So a pretty similar policy to Tainted. And then I think it makes sense, really, because probably the people that you want to click on links from are people that you trust anyway, who would tend to be subs and mods anyway. So I think that's just how it happens. And if you want to like actually regulate it to those people, like literally can only post in the chat, you're probably not going to really miss out on any links that you click on anyway. So I think that policy makes sense to me. But Argick has a good point there too, just opening it up to everyone and then, dip your feet in until you get burned, I guess, a little bit. But still.
It's pretty much what it is. Yeah, if I get burned, it's my own fault. No one else to blame. But if somebody else gets burned, it's like, mate, you had the chance. You done it anyway.
True. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's a good question. I like the panel ones where you guys give us questions to go around. So keep those coming. Okay, so we had one from Catfiend King. He said, with the discussion of celebratory streams, so like the 12-hour stream stuff, was there anything you guys did specifically when you reached affiliate status on Twitch? Okay, my guess here is that most of you guys probably got affiliate pretty quickly after it got announced without really pushing for it. Mm-hmm. But maybe like similarly, did you have like any big milestone that you pushed for, that you had a big celebratory stream for after that, that maybe you could give some advice to people? Maybe like, sort of a different vein than just the 12-hour stream. Maybe something that really mattered to you, that was maybe you got a partnership or something, or a sponsorship, or a collaboration with a certain streamer or something. Was there any big events that really meant a lot to you guys that you celebrated with a big stream? Starting with for sure. Tainted this time. I'm trying to go around here. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, just pretty much any goal I set. It's kind of hard to explain, because the goals that I set are goals that are not just set for me, but for the community as well. Because I try to make sure everything that I do on this channel, everything that this channel is about, is not for me. Like, this channel is for my community. But things that I've done in the past is like a follower goal. I hit a follower goal that I didn't think I would be hitting that specific time. I thought there's going to be a lot more time to, until I hit it. But then I had a big spurt on Rainbow. We ended up hitting it, and I mean, it's like I said earlier. You make goals, you plan them, and then you celebrate it. And how you celebrate is totally up to you. But like Veloc said too, make sure it's about your community. But as for affiliate status, I mean, just like I'm sure with everybody else, I've been streaming for quite a while, so when it was announced, I already had all the numbers. I was already pretty much set up for it, so it was what it was. But for like anything like that, it just make sure it's about the whole community. I mean, that's really all I can say about it.
I will say maybe you could think about like the the idea of, you know, now that you're affiliate, you got it pretty easily, but the idea of having the option of having subscribers and emotes and bits and things like that, like, did you guys celebrate that in any sort of way? Just like those new tools on the channel?
I didn't really celebrate. I mean, I worked my butt off and did what I could to make sure that stuff was available when it dropped. For example, like my emotes or sub badges or whatever. I just worked really hard to make sure when that was dropping, I had it right as it dropped, and didn't really do any celebrating stuff for it because it was just, we knew it was coming, but you know, I wanted to make sure it was implemented the second it was able to be. That I did that for the community. So it's like, I didn't really plan events or long streams because of that. It's mostly like goals, for example, like also sponsors, like my Rogue Energy sponsor recently, actually, there's been big things going on with that. And with True, when I got sponsored with True, that was a huge deal. And that was a long time. Dude, I can't believe it's been
a while.
Over a year. It's been like a while since I've been with True. But yeah, I mean, things of that nature is, you know, you just keep your community in mind. I mean, it's big goals like that. As for like newer streamers, you're really working towards that affiliate. You're really, you know, trying to either make your badges or something like that. It's all about you really and your community. So it's, if you want to do something big, celebrate your new emote or something, do it, man. I just do it, have fun with it, and make sure it's about the community.
Yeah, I like how you build the goals around the community too. Like, those the goals that matter to you the most are the ones that matter to the community. I love that point. Yeah. Veli, you have any thoughts on this one? Which I know we kind of already covered this, but yeah, go ahead.
So I didn't really do any like celebratory streams or anything until earlier this year. I did a community night, and it was like a night that I wasn't normally streaming or anything. I added in an extra, just like I think it was like a 6-ish hour stream where I just play video games on stream with a bunch of my viewers and subs. And the reason why I did is because I finally, like, I've been really working at like growing my community base, and I had finally reached a point where I felt like I had like this really special thing growing. And so in order to like pay them back, kind of, I just wanted to have a whole night where I just played video games with as much of them as I could. And so we just spent a night playing The Hidden. I think it was a Half-Life 2 or a Half-Life mod or something like that. And we just had fun and played video games. It wasn't anything crazy. I didn't set any goals for it or anything. I felt like I had something special going for me, and it's because of all these awesome people. And so I just played video games with those awesome people, and that's what it was.
Nice. I love it, dude. Argick, any quick thoughts on this one?
For me, it's a case of I struggled with the idea of celebratory streams. It's like, what could I do differently that people would still enjoy watching as a celebration for hitting a milestone? It's not that I'm not grateful or don't like hitting the milestones. It's just that people are there for the content that I'm putting out, so why change that? And there's times, unfortunately, where my current setup, my current living arrangements don't allow me to go for as long as I would like. So I just try and fit everything around with what I have, which is why on the weekends, I usually try and dedicate about 6 or 7 hours to just doing like a multi-game speedrun of whatever series I've decided to do. And that in itself is kind of like, it's an event thing that happens, and sometimes I'll just tack on yo, sub badges are live, or we did this, or this happened, and kind of set it inside the stream at the same time. But I just, celebrating stuff is kind of hard for me.
Yeah. It's definitely something I think you have to do like a few iterations of and start to feel your groove. And yeah, like starting, like, you know, what do you celebrate? I guess I should do something. What should I do? Finding that thing, you know, for affiliates who are getting affiliate for the first time, it's very easy because that's, you get an email about it, it's on your channel, just like partnership, right? Like that'd be a very obvious thing to celebrate. But then finding like those middle achievements on the way to partnership or beyond, that is something that takes some time and thinking. But I think, like Tainted said, like a good place to start is community goals that matter to your community, like thinking through what that could be and then how you could celebrate them. So
Oh yeah, no, I've got an idea coming out for that. Well, I have sound effects in my chat that people just love to do. It's like from the games that I speedrun, there's certain voice lines that either get missed over or they hear repeatedly and they become a meme. Like Knuckles going, "Oh no,
Oh no.
is just a massive meme everywhere. I have a sound effect for that you can just trigger just exclamation mark.
it.
Oh no, just oh no, and that's it. It's great fun. It's hilarious. And what I'm tempted to do is, because I have a loyalty system, I'm planning on just doing a complete overhaul, wiping that back to zero. Because I like the idea, right now people's numbers are too big. They like to gamble and thinking, do you know what, gambling, everybody has that, it's too basic. People love sound effects. Why don't we have a community goal? There's a thing in the Streamlabs store, you can put 1,000 credits down to buying a new sound effect. Once we reach 20,000, new sound effects unlocked. And it can just increase like it just keeps increasing as more sound effects get unlocked and the community can come together and go, right, we need this sound effect in it, we need to get these points, let's get it in, and just do things like that. I think is the way I'm going to go in future.
Nice.
But it's like that's like going to be a mini goal in itself. It's not going to be an over massive celebration thing. It's just going to be, yeah, when this thing's released, you're not going to have a cooldown on it for maybe 2 streams, so go ham. And then it's like, we'll see how it goes.
Oh, that's not good.
Gosh, that's
No, I
crazy.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. Oh no gets spammed a lot, but it's worth it. It is.
Yeah,
There's
I
some
couldn't
moments
have,
where it's just
I couldn't
like
have those in my channel, dude.
No,
I couldn't have sound effects.
Oh.
there's certain ones that I have just now that are too long, and I'm like, no, I'm increasing the cooldown on those because it's like, oh, you're using them at the wrong time. But it's a double-edged sword. But as you said, you experiment, you find
A lot of
things
people like
out.
it too. So I mean, you find your own niche.
Yeah. It's definitely like experimenting like that, like you said, and it's working for you. So definitely, I like the idea
Yeah.
to keep pushing into it
Exactly.
for sure. Sweet. We have a call from Angry Gringa coming in here, so they drag her in.
Arr.
Gringa, hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
I apologize. I have a bad cold, so I kind of sound weird.
Oh, it's all right.
You always sound weird. It's okay.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
And,
I was gonna say I sound weird anyway. It's fine.
First off, Argick, your hair is beautiful. I just want to tell you that.
Agreed.
Thank you.
I have a
Well,
question.
there.
It's kind of general, but as I work a lot, I have 2 jobs. My scheduling is a nightmare, and it's sporadic at best. And I try to post on Twitter and on my Discord when I am streaming. I'm struggling with growing my stream and my viewership because it is so random. I kind of wanted your tips and tricks outside of social media, how you can grow your channel offline.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I think a lot of people are in that same situation where, like, you really, even though you know ideally you should have a consistent schedule, that's just not something you can do with your current life situation. Like, it has to be random. So how do you keep growing despite that, and maybe how can you use social media when you can't be live to still grow that? Is that sure what you're asking there?
Yeah, I mean, I do use Twitter, I do use Discord, but I'm trying to kind of figure out what else can I do? What else can I bring to the table? What kind of value can I give people outside of Twitter? Because I mean, I tweet every day, but you know, I'm kind of stuck, you know, in that rut right now where I'm not seeing changes, and I kind of need an edge. I need to figure out how to improve this.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. So things beyond Twitter and Discord, like new avenues to look into.
Yeah, like what can I provide of value to make people come and see me when I am live?
Sure. Sweet. So yeah, I'll throw this to Velok first, I think. Do you have any tips for like new ways that she can think about expanding?
Absolutely. So I can only stream 15 hours a week, and I don't have much time to do social media stuff or anything. So I was in the same situation as you at the beginning of this year, and I worked on a few things to grow my community and grow my just overall channel. And so one of the things you have to realize, aside from moderators, subscribers are a huge part of a backbone of your community and growing. So you need to find perks to grow your subscribers. So one of the things that I did was I made Snapchat a sub perk. And so one of the things that Snapchat allowed me to do is create a group that I could chat with all the time of my subs, whether I was off stream, I was like away from home or whatever, I could always be in that Snapchat group just chatting away. Sometimes we would like send pictures to each other or anything like that, but it's a lot of just chatting on the actual app. And that gives people a lot more to connect with you, because there's a lot more just like really personal, just like not Twitter or Instagram worthy stuff that you'll be putting on there. And it just helps them connect with you a lot more. And then like people will hear about the Snapchat group for subscribers, and like they'll want to get in on it. It'll grow your subscriber base, which grows your overall community. Because if you don't have subs, people don't have like a reason to be a sub. You know what I mean? Like one of the perks of being a sub is that other people are sub to you and they want to be part of that. So Snapchat, I think, is huge. If you can pull it off and make subscribing to your channel a sub Snapchat perk, vice versa. If you can make Snapchat a sub perk for your channel, I think it'll be huge. It like growing the community on Snapchat makes it so much easier than trying to grow your community on Twitter or Instagram, because really without a community before Twitter or Instagram, it's hard to grow it through Twitter. It's one of those things. Like Twitter and Instagram are only good for the community that you already have, as opposed to growing it. As opposed to Snapchat is better for growing your community in a sense.
Sort of like, building up the existing community and really getting to know them better, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And then more people just want to be a part of that.
Right. And you could do that on things besides Snapchat too, probably, right? Like even like a messenger group or something, or Yeah,
it could be a subscriber only Discord part of your actual Discord channel where you guys are just conversing all the time. Something to make it so like your community can be more personal with you and get to know you a little bit more. And they'll just want to keep showing up because they know you. They're putting that time and investment in to know you a little bit more, and like they'll just want to keep returning, and you'll see more and more people starting to fall into place.
Yeah, for sure. Argick, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I'm pretty much in the same boat as are there. Like right now, I'm trying to think. It's like, I want to push into this. I want to go for this. It's like, but time is a real struggle. Like I do 3 hours a day for my streams on the weekdays because that's all I can fit in there. I work 9 to 5. I've then got to do that for the stream 3 hours, and then you just got to eat, sleep, and repeat the process basically. So what I'm trying to do, and I've no idea if it's going to work out or whatever, but I'm trying to just get some YouTube videos up and ready, just existing stream content that was there, edited either just so it's got a nice start and ending, or if it's some funny clips or something, and just put that out on YouTube for the days that I'm not live. That way, even though I'm not there, there's still something for people that could potentially want to watch. It then might get shared out. People might come in. It's just a case of playing the waiting game and seeing if that's going to work for me. So I do have my Twitter, I have my Facebook, I have Discord as well. Personally, for me, as much as I have a subscriber-only area in mine, but it generally doesn't get used a whole lot, simply because I try and make myself available for everybody. As much as I would love to go down the route of, here's an exclusive, I'll add you on Twitter, I'll add you on Facebook kind of thing. I don't want to go down that road because I know I'm not going to have enough time for everybody that does that. And it's not going to make a difference to if you're subscribed or not. If I don't have the time, I don't have the time. So I'd rather not let you down. But it's definitely an extra wall that I now have to fight through to try and find another perk that Vel is able to take advantage of there, just simply because of the time constraints that I have. But for me, that's where YouTube might come in. Like, for example, after I finish here today, because I'm away and not streaming, I'm going to have a YouTube video, which was just my one-handed challenge that I did earlier in the week there. People might have missed that. Let's stick it on YouTube. It's a different audience. They might enjoy it. They might come to Twitch, or they might sub on YouTube. Who knows?
Yeah, YouTube's nice that way too, because you can schedule things out for certain times when you can't actually be like live, but you still want to get content out, and repurposing old content, so you don't have to be making new content. You can just reuse what you already have. It's a good point there.
And on top of that as well, like what you can do is if you've already made a YouTube video, stick it in the uploads on Twitch. If somebody missed it, you can do a premiere if you want, or just broadcast it and put the link out there. It's content either way.
Yeah, it never hurts to put it up there just in case. Tainted, any little thoughts here?
Well, I agree with everything they said. Awesome. It can be very intimidating too, especially with a busy schedule. One of the big things that I try to tell people, especially people that are trying to grow their channel or their base, is Twitch, starting on Twitch anyway, is all about networking. It's all about finding like-minded individuals like you that have a stream similar to yours, a personality similar, or something you really enjoy. Be a part of their community. When you can't be doing your own thing, hop in like someone else's community and just be a part of that community. Get to know them. Get to know the people that are a part of that. And in turn, they will be super interested in wanting to, help you in your life or get to know you a little bit more while you're doing your things and all that. It's all about networking, because all of us small streamers, I don't care if you have 2 people watching at a time or 45. We're still in the same space, and we're there for each other, especially in this community. It's all about networking, all about helping each other. And also, like Velox said, when you have a perks for your subs and stuff like that, that really helps too. And that's one thing that I'm trying to work on, because as for me, like getting very personal and talking about life things for me, or getting people to really know me, is kind of hard for me to do that. It's kind of hard for me to open up and all that stuff, like that. But that's a really good thing to do. But one thing I try to tell people is spread the love to other channels, and they will spread the love to you, whether the streamer does it or not. The community will, as long as you show that community that you're there, you're interested, you care, and they'll be like, oh, we're gonna help each other. It's all about networking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I'll follow up with that with Tainted's point and Velox's point is I think quality over quantity really matters, and it takes a long time to really see the fruits of networking and connecting with even like subs and stuff. It kind of feels like a lot of times you have to be constantly, getting your stream on new eyes and finding new avenues to get yourself seen. But a lot of times be surprised by how instead just going really deep continuously with certain people, and like whether it's streamers or viewers or subs or whatever, like that can actually grow you more than trying to just like put your name out to a bunch of different places or trying to platforms. Just continuing to really go deep on certain people can be huge. So, but Gringa, you have any follow-up thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I have a couple. As far as, do you believe that you bond more with your community while you're streaming or more offline?
That's a great question.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you should be doing it both about the same. Like when you're streaming, you should definitely be like that's you connecting with your viewers 100%. You need to be, but there's a lot of things you can do off stream to connect with them more so, because you're not face to name, face to chat, whatever,
Face to screen.
yeah, sure. But so there's things like when I had my Snapchat group of all my subs, one thing that I did is I sent each one of them a personal message, just thanking them for being subbed to the channel, thanking them for all the support that they've shown, no matter if they were someone who's cheered like thousands of bits, or someone who's just like they just subbed and they're a new member, anything, like giving them a personal, like not stamped message, like thank you so much, I know you've only been a part of the community for this long, but I really do appreciate you, or thank you so much for being a part of this awesome thing, you've been here since the beginning, like something really personal, something that shows that like you do see them individually, will make it like focusing on the community that you already have is much bigger than just trying to grow your community. You know what I mean? Like you want to show the people who got you to where you are the most love, aside from just like other than growing that, because you want to focus inward and then spread that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's huge. I think it's absolutely huge to do something to be personal with your current viewers off stream. It's huge.
Good deal.
Cool.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Argick.
I'm in Discord with my guys. It's a case of just once I finish the stream, immediately afterwards, I'm just winding down trying to get the last of the stream stuff sorted and whatever. And just between then, like at work, I try and sneak on Discord and Twitch during lunch. Like Vel will know that I'm trying to jump into his streams every now and again when he's live. But at the same time, I'm in Discord, and it's just a case of if I have a message in my Discord, it's #1 priority. It gets checked first. Like everybody's going, they've used the everyone tags and I've been notified on something. No, if I see that little check mark, even if it's just gray next to my server, I'm in there first because I'm speaking to those guys. just making sure we're having fun, we're enjoying ourselves, they're memeing at me, they're putting my face on something else again, because that's what they like to do, or whatever, or they're just suggesting just different things and whatnot. It's a case of you're just speaking to them person to person, basically, at that point. And Discord is a fantastic way for me to do that. I don't have to be there 24/7. The message will get posted in the middle of the night from some of my US viewers, and I can see it in the morning, and they'll know that. So it's great doing both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Any other thoughts, Gringa?
No, that's it. Thanx, guys. I appreciate it.
Of
Yeah, of course.
course.
Hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Thanks. I will.
Have a good one.
Feel good. See ya. I keep getting weird like situations trying to move people in Discord, but that's fixed. All right, so we got about 15 minutes left here, so we'll go through a couple more questions we have. One, I was debating bringing this up or not, because we've touched on it a little bit before, but MPI asked us, what do y'all think about Dr. Disrespect being fed up with PUBG? And sort of to tie into this, the real question here, will most people who play one game only run into the same thing eventually? So I don't think, I know that Tainted and Velok are definitely not, one game only streamers. Argick, you're sort of just a speed running streamer, although you kind of vary games there. But do you guys have thoughts on streaming one game? Do you think like it doesn't matter the game, you're going to burn out at some point? Or is there some way to really stream one game without getting there at some point?
Burnout is real. Burnout will hit everybody. Anybody that says, oh no, I could play this game for life, they're lying. Even myself, I'll say, like, I love Sonic Mania, I love Sonic 3 Knuckles, I'll play those games. If those were the only games in the world that I could ever play, I wouldn't be gaming as much as I am right now. Because gaming is constantly changing. You want to be part of the next big thing. You want to get into those series that you like. And being a Twitch streamer, it's doubly important for you to get on the right bandwagon at the right time if you want to try and push a little bit more growth. So, yeah, burnout will definitely happen. On the flip side to that, you made it big in PUBG. People watched you for PUBG. The challenge now comes from you trying to translate that audience into something else. Obviously, if he jumps over into any of the other Battle Royale games, it's probably going to be okay. It's going to be a similar thing people are used to. As long as it's his style of showmanship, he should be all right. But one thing that I have noticed, there's a YouTuber that has recently made a jump to Twitch. Used to play a whole lot of League of Legends. After about 6 years, he's got bored of it. He doesn't do it anymore. His stream numbers aren't as big as they used to be. His YouTube videos are certainly taking a hit, and without knowing anything about his finances or his back end, I can't say too much. But it's definitely showing that the viewer retention that he once had isn't there anymore. So it's going to be a risk.
Yeah, absolutely. Tainted, you have thoughts too?
Well, I started streaming with Rainbow Six Siege. That's been my main game for a long time. And yeah, the burnout is real. Even them revitalizing the game with every quarterly, season and new things like that. I love the game. I always will. But one thing I've noticed, especially this past couple months, is there'll be a spurt of maybe 2 months of like going hard on Rainbow, like, oh man, I'm having so much fun with this again. Yeah. And then after that, just not being able to even stand, like, nope.
That is
and then taking like a couple months off or maybe a month off. And then all of a sudden you just get this little itch like, man, I kind of feel like playing Rainbow. But it's just those kind of games, especially building your audience, but you have to make sure you're having fun. Because if you're not having fun, it's going to translate to all your viewers. And either you're going to get a bunch of flack or trolls coming in because they can tell you're not having fun and just want to mess with you. Or you're other ones that are like, man, I used to love watching you kick butt and like all that. And you could tell you're having fun and all this stuff. And you burn out on games, no matter what it is. You're going to burn out. That's why kind of keep it fresh. Yeah, if you want to make a game your main game, maybe plan out. If you want to play it every day, play for a couple hours. Then the end part of your stream, do a single player game, do a different kind of game, do a different game period. That way it just keeps it a little fresh going into it. But I mean, I think, especially growing, you have to categorize yourself, or you don't have to, but for a little bit of a growth advantage to categorize yourself as a one main game, or you're a variety streamer. And variety streaming is hard. It can be very hard, especially to grow, because if you're concentrating on one game, getting good at one game, you'll get a lot of viewers that are enjoying watching you play it. They enjoy the gameplay. They enjoy like that game, but going away from it is, it can hurt numbers. It can do all that stuff. But in the end, enjoy what you're doing, because that's what will keep people around. And it doesn't matter what game you're playing. If you're having fun, your viewers will have fun too. So
yeah, it's
a
double.
The burnout is real.
Yeah. Well, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because, like, on the one hand, if you're a one-game streamer and you can stick to that, most of us would probably agree that you'll probably grow faster that way, since you're just known for streaming that game, and that's just one more way that you can establish like a consistent identity for your channel, because people will always know you'll be streaming that game. You kind of become known for that. The downside being, of course, you might get burnt out. I think most people probably do get burnt out, like regardless of how much you love the game. I mean, I look at Ninja, who's been playing Fortnite forever. He will never tell you this, but he's probably sick of playing the game. So I don't think at some point, like, you're just gonna get sick of it. But then for variety streaming, like Tainted said, it can be very hard to grow in that sense, because you don't have that thing that you're known for. The flip side being, you're probably happier in the end because you have the freedom to swap between games. So it's
and like I said too, if you want to pick a main game to stream, don't just like hammer that game out. Great, but make sure you're not burning yourself out. Put other things in there. You might lose numbers or viewers, but at least you'll be happy in the end. But you'll be streaming that game again tomorrow. So it's just you can't get burned out on any game, no matter who you are.
For sure. And there are some streamers that do a good job of, they're definitely known for a certain game, but they like slowly work other games into the rotation. Even if mostly they're known for that game, you'll catch them a few times playing one game, or maybe like more consistently if it's a big game or something that they want to move to. There are ways to do it. It's a very nuanced thing. So really quickly though, Val, you have any thoughts on this before we move on?
Yeah, so like I would like to say Fortnite is probably my main game, somewhere between Fortnite and Rainbow Six Siege. But I've been incorporating a lot of single player games lately. It's really good to not get burnt out on any one thing. One thing that I see is that like if you do stick to only one game, you might see more growth, but like Tainted was saying, you might not be happy playing the same game all the time. And then when you do switch to a different game, all the people who have only ever seen you play one game are not going to care if you're playing something else. You're going to go watch someone play the game that you've been playing. So you might have a slower growth being more of a variety streamer, quote unquote. But one thing that you'll notice is that you're growing more of a community, like an actual community that cares about you and each other, as opposed to just growing a viewer base. There's two huge, like there's a big difference between the two, and you have to make sure you know what you want out of streaming. Do you want a viewer base or do you want a community?
Yeah, that's really true. That comes back to just having your goals set out, right? Like knowing what you want to get out of your stream, whether is growth most important to you? Like, do you really need to make this work for financial or personal reasons or whatever? Or are you mostly doing this just to have fun? And growth is like an added benefit to that. So having that frame to work with first is so important, I think, for this, for sure. But good topic, though. I think we have people commenting on the chat. Susie QQ saying she was completely burned out of games altogether. I think that's kind of interesting. Have you guys ever been just sick of playing games on stream?
Yeah.
How'd you deal with that?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I sleep.
On stream, right?
Oh, not on stream. It's the case if I'm just burnt out in games at all, it's like, can't be bothered. I've been working. I came home. I don't want to do anything. It's like, I've had food. I've watched a little bit of whatever I'm watching. I sleep. That's it. It's like, can't be bothered. No, that's fine. Because like for me, gaming and streaming, like that is me in a nutshell. I am a gamer. I've been doing it since I was a kid. I've been doing it even before I started streaming. And it's just, if I can't be bothered doing that, there's not a whole lot else that I am doing. Like people might go, oh, that's slightly unhealthy and all that. It's like, yeah, possibly, but it's only a day, like maybe once every 2 or 3 months, or I just go, I can't be bothered. So I just enjoy a good nap.
There you go. Dev or Velok, I know you had the same thing happen. Hey, you released your first name. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Yeah. But do you? You said you have had this happen to you before. So
Absolutely. There's definitely times where it's like, I could play any game right now, or I could go watch The Punisher on Netflix. Like, that sounds great. You know what I mean? But like, you have to remember that like you're not that like. We're here to play games, but we're here because we have like these people here watching us that, you know, like they like hanging out with us. We like hanging out with them. So like if I'm ever bored of a game, I'll play, like I'll throw in something super random, you know, like I would clone Drone Danger Zone or something like that was something that I played when nothing else sounded good. Like Argick just face is just like, I've never heard of that. And you never will ever again.
No.
It's a super small game. But it's just like you try to make it more about the community than the actual game that you're playing. So find a game that's more community based than it is like anything else. And that's one thing that's like your viewers can summon robots in there to try to attack you, and it makes it seem like you're attacking your own viewers, and it makes it like a little thing. It's cool. So something like that. But yeah, you just gotta push through, find something, and then like eventually like the urge to play something will come back. It's just, you know, trying to like push through that phase, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Tainted, you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, you got to take time. You can't just, you know, as a streamer and as someone in that, you know, I think all of you that stream can kind of maybe attest, you feel an obligation kind of to be there for a schedule or for the viewers or for your community. You just feel that obligation. But sometimes, man, you just don't even feel like playing games. And when that time comes, you could either just, you know, do something super random like Volok said, or like what I've had to do in the past. Like I spoke to my community. I'm like, guys, like I'm so burnt out. I've been doing this for over a year, nonstop, 40 hours a week. I love you guys. I need to take a week. I need to take a week off. I'm going camping. I went fishing for a year. I'm going camping. And I went camping. A week later, I came back, and I was just even more happy than I've been in a long time, just because I took that time for myself. I just had that time to unwind. And as long as you're communicating that with your community, they will 100% understand and support you even. It goes back to like if you're not streaming or whatever to build your community, just stay in touch with them. Talk to them on Discord. Like, you know, just send, like I was doing when I was camping. Just send pictures. I was camping and freaking taking pictures of the bonfire, sending that in my sub chat and all that other stuff, and you know, just showing what I was doing while I was out in the woods. That 1 week I took a week off. I mean, you just have to learn how to separate your streaming stuff, which everybody loves doing if you do it, and gaming, which everybody loves doing if you do it. But make sure you separate that from your mental and physical health.
Yeah.
Take time for yourself because you need it. Whether you think so or not, you need it sometimes.
Absolutely. I think there are a few big streamers who did the exact same thing you did, actually. Like, I want to say both Lyric and Summit, like, you know, exactly that. They went away and camped and just got away for a while. So
did they really?
Yeah, the outdoors is a good solution, guys. If you need to get
away. It is. I came back and I was so ready to get back into technology. I'm like, where's my computer? Where's my mouse? I was just so ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a really cool topic. Really quickly here, again, we have a couple minutes left. Have you guys ever streamed something besides games when you've got this feeling before? Like maybe just talking to your chat or a podcast or something else that's, you know, you're still streaming but not gaming. Just curious.
I've never streamed in IRL or creative or anything, simply because one, I ain't creative enough. Not happening. Like, my creative talents lie elsewhere. Where? I don't know. I'll find them eventually. But IRL for me, it's one of those things. It's like when you first started streaming, you've always got that fear of, I'm streaming to no one. But at least you're playing a game, so at the very least you're entertaining yourself while playing a game. Switching over to IRL, just you sitting in front of a camera, you don't have the game to distract you at that point. And if you've not got anybody, like for me, it's a fear of, I'm sitting in IRL for 15, 20 minutes, just trying to talk and strike up a conversation or whatever, and nobody appears. And you're just like, I don't ever want to do that. Like, not a chance. What I would like to do at some point is, like, I'm out this weekend, I'm not doing my big streams. I feel like, yep, my community is losing out. I've communicated it to them. They know I'm not going to be here. But I would love to just have that IRL backpack and go, here's where I am. I'm streaming from it. It's going to be amazing. But I can't do that because I don't have the technology available. So what I'm planning on doing is that every night when I come home, I'll just, like, chuck a whole bunch of videos up, a whole bunch of photos up going, this is what I was at today, this is what I seen, it was cool, have you guys ever done anything like this, or what's your best moment, or whatever. I could do that in a stream, but the fear kind of just goes, I don't want to do that.
Reading chat, I'm sorry.
You can.
LARP, like live action? Oh my god.
Live action.
Let's go LARPing.
Yeah.
Sorry, that just made me laugh. Just
Lightning
LARP.
bolt. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
It reminds me of role models, man.
Oh my god.
Hey, you gotta mix it up somehow. Gotta have some entertainment.
for sure.
There. All right. Well, I think that is actually going to be our show for today, and right on 12:30, which is nice. So thank you, all three of you guys, for coming out today. I want to quickly get info from you all for where people can find you, anything you want to say to people, starting with Argick maybe, and I'm sure people are curious what your accent is because we get that question a lot. So maybe throw that in there.
They can guess my accent. Nah, I've seen people say about it. No, you'll find me over at twitch.tv/Argick. As was mentioned, I am a speedrunner. I play games fast, not using cheats. Glitches, yes. Cheats, no. But usually, I'm a massive fan of the Sonic series, but right now, going through the wonderful little game, A Hat in Time. They just had their DLC released. It's a lot of fun. It's really hard, so yeah, it's been good fun. I am Scottish. That is what the accent is. I'm not full-blown Alchai. You can hear the voice coming through. But it's a case of you still know it's there. But yeah, cheers for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming back. We appreciate it. And yeah, it's a good game for speedrunning for sure. Hat in Time's really cool. Tainted, what do you want to say to people before we head off here?
Well, you can find me at twitch.tv/TaintedRumbler. On any other social medias, it's TA Gaming Live. Just look that up. You're going to find me. What I usually do, like I said it on the podcast, I play all kinds of shooters, but I play everything. Like, I've been doing a lot of RP again. Back in the day, I used to do some RP on Arc. I think that's where Green found me.
Yep.
Was doing some RP on Arc, and it can be hilarious. Yeah, I've been doing that lately, but I'm a FPS player, and I do a lot of RP. So, yeah, I stream every day pretty much, besides Wednesdays. So yeah, you can just find me on Twitch. That's my main place. That's where I live.
Sweet. And Blackout coming soon, I'm sure. Based on what you
dude,
said.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Last but not least, Veli, what do you want to say before we head off here?
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming out, everybody who loves to come out and listen to us, give you advice on things. We love helping you out. It's amazing. You can find me everywhere. Snapchat now is Veloc_TV. I had to change that. It was something different before, so I got a new Snapchat. Follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. It's all Veloc_TV, and of course, obviously on Twitch as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out. We really do love doing this. It's a lot of fun.
Yep. Every single Friday and Wednesday night now with Snoop Hogg. So whether you are up at 12 a.m. or p.m., you can watch the show. It's pretty great. Cool. Well, thank you guys for coming out and watching. Just a reminder that we will be supporting Hurricane Florence stuff all weekend long, or at least till the end of tomorrow, I think. And we'll probably be doing stuff on this channel later today, so stick around for that. I think we're going to raid someone really quickly since we have to take a lunch break here, but stick around. We'll be back for that. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We will see you later today. I usually say next week, but later today. See you guys later. Adios.
Bye-bye.